So week three's dōTERRA Wellness Elevated campaign theme is positivity. Now, I feel we have to be mindful when we talk about positivity, particularly at the moment, when some of us are experiencing situations with a high degree of stress and uncertainty. And it's really important that during these times we appreciate and make room for some very normal responses to these really unique circumstances. This is important because our self-care and wellness depends on us staying mindfully in touch with our genuine experience, rather than pushing aside any thoughts or feelings that may not be positive. So it's through connecting with our genuine experience as it is that allows us to understand our needs and work towards meeting them. It also frees us up to be more positive and creative when we can. So when we talk about positivity, it's important to do it in a way that validates and remains open to the whole spectrum of experiences during this time. So, there are some really great ways that we can, bring about an upshift or a positive shift in our state of mind. So, and in the past weeks, we've talked about getting connected with nature and connecting with our movement in a very mindful way. And I'd invite you to keep these in mind because these are really connected with positivity as well. Another one that's quite a fun one is music. And this is a go-to one for me almost every day. And some of you may have seen elite athletes using music or listening to music with headphones while warming up just prior to their performance. And one of the primary reasons for this is really to provide the athlete with a boost to their mood, to their thinking in that critical moment before go time. And so different types of music can be obviously used to create different responses. So if we're talking about positivity, we're talking about music with high volume, so crank the volume, and we're also talking about music with a real upbeat tempo. And if you're willing, get the body moving and even belt out some lyrics, kind of karaoke style. Now, another way we can influence our mood is through a skill called reframing. Now, most of us are impacted by events that mostly out of our control. But what is in our direct control is how we really choose to see these events. And we know that almost every experience has both challenges and opportunities that lie within. And our brains are wired to focus on the challenges. So over time, this alone can be quite taxing to our mental health and wellness. And so by being intentional and deliberate about directing our focus to what opportunities that may be there, but are harder to see, is an important skill to practice that can help boost and influence our positivity and wellness. So, for example, in addition to some of the challenges that we're facing, by choosing to intentionally reflect on possible opportunities, like a greater sense of our own resilience and personal strengths of ourselves or our communities, new possibilities, improved relationships, or a greater appreciation for some of the more wholesome parts of life. You could even make a daily practice where you can build on some of these past themes of nature and movement and incorporate some reflection or journaling, some time doing those things to highlight these opportunities amongst some of the challenges. So finally, how we use our time based on our priorities and what matters most to us is another way that we can impact our positivity. I'd invite you to start the day by firstly considering What really matters to you today? We often call these our values, and in later themes we'll talk a little bit more about our values. But try to prioritize your time around actions and tasks that are aligned to these values, rather than getting hijacked by distractions and other people's priorities. And taking action in line with what really matters to you, what matters most, is a great way to feel a sense of purpose, fulfillment, productivity, and positivity.